2019 was a pretty good year for FPS releases. Nothing too insane, mind you, but there were some gems spread throughout. Here are my picks for the top 5 FPS games of 2019. Modern Warfare came out of gate swinging with really strong gunplay. Some fantastic changes to the campaign, which really is the standout in this game. Lots of multiplayer modes, and I think a recentering of the franchise around what matters: good gunplay mechanics. Unfortunately, the title is held back by some skill-based matchmaking frustrations and really poor map design. As the game has continued with this new Activision Battle Pass style support, it does receive new maps, and surprise, surprise, the traditional 3-lane style approach remained the most successful. Overall, Modern Warfare, I think, sets up Call of Duty in a very strong place coming into the next generation of consoles. The co-op mode is an absolute disappointment and really a shame when you look back at Modern Warfare 2, what it delivered on the co-op offering of its release. However, Modern Warfare does offer strong variety if you like this type of gameplay. The customization system, the amount of weapons, the visuals in this game, and frankly, the crossplay support is really cool. And I think it sets a strong message in the industry that crossplay is here to stay. Modern Warfare could be so much more, however, with a different map pool and a little bit more agility from the developers in how they respond to player frustrations. I had a great time with this game, and it's something I'll be playing throughout the year. I think Borderlands 3 didn't get the success it really deserved because of when it released. I want to see more developers creating games that focus around the core philosophies of the design rather than just chasing successful monetization models. Seriously, when it comes to investment shooters, just look at Anthem. EA built that entire game just to chase the games as a service and investment shooter pairing. Borderlands 3 didn't go that route, even though it could have gone for all these daily and weekly quests, the lockouts, all that jazz. No, it's just another Borderlands game. Fantastic loot, really fun gameplay that scales phenomenally in co-op. It didn't have the same level of writing that Borderlands 2 did. I don't know if people will look back as fondly on Borderlands 3 as they did on Borderlands 2, but overall, it's a really fun, replayable game. That 30-hour campaign you can power through multiple times and try all sorts of different builds. If you can find this thing on sale, pick it up. If you have friends who play it, definitely pick it up. Borderlands 3 did a good job delivering. Maybe not on the expectations that people had set, because Borderlands 2, honestly, put the bar real high, but overall was a good release in 2019. The Outer Worlds is just fantastic. I think Obsidian has come in and absolutely shredded Bethesda. I don't know if Bethesda, like RPG FPS games, are really going to have a chance anymore unless they step it up to this degree. The gunplay is not the best in here, and including FPS RPGs in this list I know is a bit iffy, but overall, if you enjoy immersive worlds, excellent writing, beautiful visuals, and plenty of gameplay choice at your fingertips, then The Outer Worlds is for you. Plus 10 awesome points because it's on Game Pass, dude. You can literally play this thing for dirt cheap on Game Pass and see if you enjoy it or not. What stood out most to me was the level of customization available to you from the very get-go. It's a true RPG. The way you build your character radically impacts the playthrough that you are going to have. I think the Fallout franchise has completely lost its way in the last few years, and the Outer Worlds have picked up where they left off. It doesn't offer maybe the density that a Fallout game does, and it's not a super long title, but I would prefer a polished 30-hour experience versus an unpolished 90-hour collectathon. I think The Outer Worlds delivers on all fronts and is worth your time. Apex Legends dominated most of my multiplayer FPS time this year. I'm not a huge Battle Royale fan. I got my PUBG fill last year, but Apex brought me back in a strong way. All the innovations to the Battle Royale genre that you saw throughout this year, a lot of those ideas stemmed from Apex Legends, and you saw those concepts and design philosophies quickly spreading to other games. The only real setback to Apex, I think, is just kind of the pace of the updates. I know that Respawn has a smaller team on it, and they're not trying to work the devs to death. However, the seasons seem a little bit too spread out for my liking. Season 3 has been awesome, but I can't wait to get off of the map and go back to something a little bit different. Apex, though, has become one of the few Battle Royale games that I can sit down and enjoy weeks and weeks on end with my buddies and can play with a wide skill range of friends. The gunplay is fantastic in Apex, as is the movement tech within. I'm a Titanfall 2 player, and yes, I do miss the good old wall running and the jump possibilities. However, the more that I watch strong pro players in Apex, I realize that the skill ceiling is still quite high for the movement tech in Apex. Holding this game back is probably the way that they have it monetized. I don't mind purchasing the Battle Pass, but the Apex packs seem a bit stingy, and the way the developers have communicated with the community this last year hasn't always gone over super smoothly on that front. I'm looking forward to seeing what 2020 brings for Apex Legends. EA has come out and said that they have a 10-year plan for this game, which I think is a little bit ambitious, but I am happy to see Respawn having success with both Fallen Order and Apex this year. Now, please make Titanfall 3 already, please! If you watch my channel, this number one pick is no surprise. I have shouted the praises of Metro Exodus all year long, and it remains the best FPS game of 2019, in my opinion. Marred by an unfortunate last-minute exclusivity switch to the Epic Store, this game didn't see the initial hype that I believe it deserved. It is a really good single-player FPS campaign experience that blends linear and non-linear gameplay segments in a very strong way. I think most single-player FPS games are going to start adopting some of these concepts moving forward. Metro Exodus does not require you to play the other two Metro titles to enjoy. Yeah, you'll get a little bit more story enjoyment out of it, but Exodus is a phenomenal starting point. 4A was very good at creating linear single-player campaign gameplay, but it almost was a bit claustrophobic and a bit on the rails for most players. Where Exodus picks up is the fixing point to that problem. They mix their fantastic linear gameplay sections with new semi-open world non-linear areas. These non-linear areas are the highlight of the game, and it really could use more of them. Instead of having like a giant collectathon world, you get to go out and experience maybe 7 or 8 events in this open world in whatever order that you choose. You can miss some of them, and it does offer a chance for emergent gameplay moments. Playing this game on the harder difficulties also sheds a great light into the sort of quasi-survival game that this can be on the harder levels. Visually, it is one of the best looking games of all time. The atmosphere is unparalleled when it comes to the post-apocalyptic. I more than got my money's worth out of Metro Exodus, and the saving thing for it, I honestly think, is the fact that Xbox came in and put it on Game Pass, and you can play it on the PC version of Game Pass and on the Xbox One. That is really awesome. The only setbacks with Metro Exodus was the story pacing. I talked about this in my review, that the last third of the game doesn't seem to have the amount of time or emphasis that it should have during the development cycle. So those are my picks for the best FPS games of 2019. They were just my favorite. I know there were some other titles that came out. I wanted to say thank you so much for such an incredible year on the channel. We got to review Exodus, Mirror's Edge, Metroid Prime, Dusk, Anthem. Yeah, Anthem came out this year. The Division 2, Bright Memory, Rage 2, Splitgate, Apex, Borderlands 3, Shadowkeep, Gears 5, The Outer Worlds, and Modern Warfare, all in a single year here on the channel. And I just can't thank you guys enough for the awesome support. If you enjoy this type of content, if you enjoy the channel, please subscribe. Like 80% of my viewership comes from like suggested and non-subscribed viewers. So if you do enjoy this stuff, just hit the little subscribe button, hit the alarm bell so you don't miss future uploads. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please let me know what your favorite was if I missed it in this list. Enjoy the start of 2020.